Hi, I'm Sean Chappell.
I'm Sabrina Scalarini.
And I'm Kit Davin. We're RamSTARS Games, and today we're going to teach you how to play our game, Hivernation.
In Hivernation, you'll be playing honeybees that fight for control of Queen Zizi's hive. The drone bees have been feasting all summer, and now the workers are ready to go on strike. Queen Zizi is worried. If there's going to be enough food for everyone through the winter, including her next generation of children, the drones have to go. But they won't leave without a fight.
Players choose a type of honeybee to play, workers or drones. Using 3 basic moves, you push your opponent's bees out of the hive to make room for your own bees. The player with the most bees at the end of the last round dominates the hive and wins the game.
In each game, each bee tile you lay contributes to creating the hive, so we recommend playing on a large table. A larger play area offers more opportunities to push your opponent out of the game and disrupt the hive. The more you play, the more your strategies will evolve along with the size and shape of the hive. But don't take our word for it. Let's show you how to play Hibernation.
Hibernation offers 3 game modes and 3 variants on these game modes. Today, we're playing Arcade Mode. Hibernation is played primarily with bee tiles. Each bee tile is double-sided, with a worker bee on one side and a drone bee on the other. In a 2-player game, each player starts with a stack of 20 bee tiles. In a 2-team game, with each team consisting of 2 players, each player starts with a stack of 10 bee tiles. After choosing which kind of bee to play, the player or team who has chosen to play as the worker bees should make sure all the tiles are flipped so the worker bees face up. The player or team who has chosen to play the drone bees should make sure all the tiles in their stack are flipped so the drone bees face up. Place these stacks in front of you. In the middle of the gaming area, place Queen Zizi. She is the anchor for the hive as it changes throughout the game. She is also impervious to gameplay and a blocker. We'll explain this further on in the video. Shuffle the remaining specialty tiles, keeping them face down. For 2 players, deal each player 3 tiles face down. Players may look at their own tiles at any time, but must keep them hidden from their opponent. For 2 teams, each player is dealt 2 tiles each. Players on the same team can look at each other's specialty tiles, but they cannot trade them or discuss strategy. Keep your specialty tiles next to your bee tiles. Set the remaining stack of specialty tiles to the side of the play area, keeping them face down. Then, place the paw tokens beside them. Now you're ready to play. Hibernation is a round-based game. On your turn, you can lay down either a bee tile or a specialty tile. After your turn, the other player takes a turn, and that completes 1 round. When playing in teams, alternate turns back and forth between the 2 teams. Once all players complete their turns, that ends the round. The first player is determined by who ate honey last.
Yummy!
Begin playing by attaching your first bee tile to any of the 6 open sides on Queen Zizi's tile. Then, your opponent attaches one of their bee tiles to Queen Zizi. You can never attach your bee tile to one of your opponent's bee tiles or lay your tiles on top of theirs. You may attach to Queen Zizi beside your opponent's bee tile, but we don't recommend it at this point in the game. You will set up your opponent to attack you and push you out of the hive. If all the open sides on Queen Zizi's tile become occupied and you have no bee tiles in the hive to attach to, you must play a specialty tile to disrupt the hive. If you have no specialty tiles, you lose control of the hive and you lose the game. After the initial round, you now have the option of doing 3 moves. You can continue attaching to Queen Zizi, attach to your own bees, or if it's possible, attack your opponent's bees. Attaching to your own bees follows the same rules as attaching to Queen ZZ. You may only attach to any open sides on any of your bee tiles already in play. Should your bee tile be positioned beside your opponent's while doing this, make sure that your opponent can't attack you on their turn. Or maybe you want them to, so you can attack back on your next turn. Attacking your opponent's bees requires a condition to be available in the hive. If the condition doesn't exist, you cannot attack. This condition is determined by lines of sight. Each bee tile placed in the hive has 6 potential lines of sight, with each one following a straight line determined by each side of your bee tile. All attacks operate by lines of sight. Your attacking bee must be positioned in line with another one of your bees already in play, with your opponent's bee tile or row of tiles also falling along that line of sight. If this condition is present in the hive, you may attack using the pincer movement. The pincer movement allows you to lay your bee tile next to your opponent's along that line of sight, so that the bee you're attacking with and the one already in play flanks the bees in between. Once you've played your bee tile, the attack is successful, and you can flip over all your opponent's bee tiles that are along that line of sight between your 2 bee tiles. Even though there may be many opponent tiles in a line, you must only flip the tiles that lie between your bee tiles. You cannot play through your own bee tiles to another one farther along the line of sight. As the hive becomes larger, the potential increases to perform multi-directional attacks. This means that sometimes when you place your bee tile, you could attack along 2 or more lines of sight. When this occurs, you may take one specialty tile from the stack that you set aside earlier. This tile can be added to your other specialty tiles in hand and be used on a future turn. As the game proceeds, you may discover that your opponent is taking the lead. Now's the time to play a specialty tile instead of a bee tile. Specialty tiles include flowers, bears, pesticides, and beekeepers. Queen ZZ is also considered a specialty tile. Specialty tiles can be played next to or on top of a bee tile. When a specialty tile is played, some of them act like blockers, similar to Queen ZZ, which means it cannot be played through when attacking. Specialty tiles cannot be placed on top of other specialty tiles. When a flower tile is played, any of your opponent's bees touching the sides of it are flipped over. The flower will not affect any of your bees touching it. If there are free sides available on the flower tile, players may attach their bee tiles to the flower on their turns in the same manner as attaching to Queen ZZ. When a bear tile is played, all of the tiles touching its side are frozen. These tiles cannot be flipped and become blockers, along with the bear tile. As a reminder, place a paw token on all affected tiles. Even though these tiles cannot be flipped, they can still be used in attacks. If you attach a bee tile to an open side on the bear tile during a turn, that tile can no longer be flipped, so be sure to place a paw token on it. When a pesticide tile is played, watch out! This is by far the most disruptive of the specialty tiles. When played, it removes bees from the hive and creates a discard pile. The tiles it affects are any bee tile or specialty tile touching the sides of the pesticide tile, the bee tile beneath it if it was played on top of one, any tiles that are disconnected from the hive, and the pesticide tile itself. When all seems lost, you can count on the last specialty tile, the beekeeper. To play this tile, discard it and recover either one bee tile or one specialty tile from the discard pile to play immediately. We don't recommend using it to recover another beekeeper tile though, or you'll get stuck in an endless loop of playing a beekeeper to recover a beekeeper. Keep playing, causing as much mayhem to your opponent as possible, until the first player plays their last bee tile. Once this happens, this signals the final round of the game. In a 2-player game, the other player plays one final tile, either a bee tile or a specialty tile, to finish the round and the game. In a 2-team game, after the first player plays their last bee tile, all the other players get to play one last tile. At the end of the round, the battle is over. Players or teams count how many of their bees remain in the hive. Bee tiles excluded from the final tally are those that are covered by specialty tiles or those lost to the discard pile. The player or team with the highest number of bees wins the game. If there's a tie, there's only one way to break it. Play again.
Thanks for watching our gameplay video for the arcade mode of Hibernation. Our game also has 2 additional game modes. Basic mode doesn't include specialty tiles, and Total Domination keeps players playing long after they've used all the bee tiles in their hands.
For gamers who want a fair experience with no players having advantage over the other, we offer variations to the gameplay that include the specialty tiles. They're called 3-Tile Tussle, Blossom Battle, and Love and War.
If you love our game or have questions we haven't answered in our video, make sure to contact us. We're happy to give you the answers you're looking for. Look for us at our website and on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
You're just looking at me.
Did I get it? Did I get it?